before we get into this video, you need to hit that subscribe button. Please do it now so we can keep making great content like this. Thank you. So today on Transplants, we are joined by Stephen Harrison, who is a multi-sport athlete. He's done football, volleyball, and 10 pin bowling. So what better three to pick, I think? That's not too bad. That's not too bad a combination. But how are you, Steve, anyway? Are you good?
That is good. I'm good, yes.
Excellent.
Very good.
So as you've seen in the introduction, you know, we're looking to sort of shed the light on transplant sport and how much of an impact it has on the transplant community. So for you personally, Steve, what did you need to have transplanted, and when did it happen first off?
Okay, I had a kidney transplant in 2016. I was diagnosed with a condition called FSGS when I was about 18, 19. So I sort of lived with that throughout my adult life, pretty much a normal life until the last couple of years. And then my kidney function dropped quite obviously into stage 5, and it kept dropping, and then ended up having a transplant. So I have dialysis. I was on the transplant list 39 days, so I was very, very lucky. So I had a pretty normal life. I mean, I know everybody's journey's different, but mine was quite a boring one, really.
Absolutely. Well, did you know when you first got diagnosed that your kidney wouldn't function for your lifetime, or was that part of the condition?
I was told when I was diagnosed, I'm an 18-year-old lad, world's, it's just one of them, innit? You're young, you don't really care. So I was told that I would probably need a transplant or dialysis by the time I was 40. They would manage it with medication in the meantime. I was told I should be able to live a relatively normal life in the build up to that. However, they didn't know when the kidneys would fail. Both my kidneys are damaged. So they didn't know when it would be, but they were sort of aiming that on function when I was diagnosed. I think it was 32%, so stage 3 kidney failure when I was diagnosed. And they just sort of said, by the time you're 40, you'll need a transplant. And when you're 18, it's over double your life away. So it's a lifetime away. So it didn't really bother me at all. I sort of cracked on with my life. Played a lot of sport when I was younger, worked, had a family, did all the normal things. And then I got to 40 and I was okay health-wise. I think my function was about 15%, and managed to get another 3 years out of the old one before I needed a new one. So yeah, I have been very, very lucky. It's been, you hear some stories from other transplant recipients and you sort of think, wow.
So you say you were on the transplant list for 39 days. I mean,
yes.
that's did they manage to find a match for you quite quickly? Did they have one sort of in the lineup?
Well, actually, my sister was being tested to be a live donor, and what happened was the day that I got the call, she texted me in the morning to say we're a match, and she was going off the next round of tests and everything. I'm like, great. And then I'll always remember it. 12 minutes past 12, I got a phone call from the transplant coordinator at St James's at Leeds, and they basically said they got a kidney for me, and I thought they meant my sister. So I was like, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I've already spoken to sister. Like, no, we've got one for you now. So I actually got a cadaverous donor very, very quickly. So I was just very lucky. It was a good match. It helped the fact to not have dialysis. It was it wasn't a perfect kidney, but it was a good one for me because I've not had the dialysis, and it's ticking along nicely. So absolutely. No complaints.
So you mentioned that you were always into sport when you were younger and stuff like that. So what sort of sports did you play when you had a functioning kidney at the start?
Primarily football. Played a bit of rugby, played a bit of cricket. I'd turn my hand at anything. I'd have a go at anything. But I was playing football 2-3 times a week. Did that. I did that all the way through to actually the Monday before I had my transplant on the Thursday. I actually played 5-a-side in goal for an hour, and felt like I'd been a marathon at the end of it. And I'd actually spoke to my now wife, she was my fiance at the time, and said to her, I'm going to have to pack this in. I think it's just getting too much for me. And then, so sort of 72 hours before I had my transplant, I played a game of football. So I always played 5-a-side. I played Saturdays and Sundays and stuff, and then as you get older, you slow down naturally.
Absolutely.
So I was 5-a-side, so I ended up playing in goals just so I could keep playing, really.
Yeah, and so you had your transplant. So talk to me about sort of like the aftermath of it. How was the recovery?
Fine, textbook. Just it's strange. It is strange. I just went to the appointments, did what I was told, and 10 weeks later, I went to football training with the Liverpool Transplant football team, and managed about 2 minutes, and I was absolutely shattered. But I did it. I was back, and then I just sort of built it up from there. So I say it was textbook, really. It was nice and easy. I had no complications at all. So I say I've been very, very lucky with my journey so far.
Absolutely.
So I was back playing football relatively quickly.
Yeah, and so was it something that you always had your eye on as sort of a goal when you were going through the transplant to go back and get playing in sport again?
Yes, very much so. I only really found out about sort of transplant sport and that side of it not long before my transplant. And I had my transplant at Leeds, but I'm now under the Royal Liverpool because I moved in with my now wife, and she's from the area, so we moved over this way. So I'm under the Royal Liverpool now, and it was the year 2016 was the year that Liverpool held the British Transplant Games. So I became very much aware of that through Transplant Sport, through the Transplant Games of 2016. I mean, unfortunately, I was not well enough to compete because it wasn't that long after I'd had my transplant. But that's how I found out about it, and then I registered and looked at it all and sort of got involved as soon as I'd had my transplant. And with the football side of it, I found Liverpool Transplant Football Club on Facebook, and I was actually going to message Steve, the manager, and say, can I come and train? I've not had a transplant yet, but can I come and train with you? Until I have a transplant sort of thing, then can I play? And I never got round to sending the message, and within a week I'd had my transplant, and I was basically saying, I've just had my transplant, but as soon as the doctors say I'm okay to do it, I'm coming down. And that was it, really. And I got involved through that. It's sort of the wonders of social media and Facebook and all that. It's
absolutely, man. It's really, really good. And obviously you got into the football, and then you managed to represent at the transplant games. So how much of sort of an honor was that almost? Because it's
I say to people, at 46 I became an international footballer. Now at 18 that was never going to happen. Never. It was just never going to happen if it wasn't for the transplant. It was an unbelievable experience to represent my country, especially the sport I love. I enjoyed the volleyball. I enjoy the 10-pin bowling, but my main sport has always been football. So to say you're an international footballer and you're at 46, it's not bad. It's not bad.
It's not too shabby at all. And how did it go for you? First off,
I was in Team GB2 and we got the bronze. So we did very well. GB1 got the gold. They were unbelievable. They were brilliant. But as a squad, it was a really good achievement. It was 2 medals.
Absolutely.
Superb. And I was just over the moon to get my bronze medal,
Yeah, and do you have it hung up on the wall? Is it?
Not yet. It's actually on my bookcase. It's resting on my bookcase. I've got all my medals sort of lined up on my bookcase. They're not hung up anywhere yet. But in my office, I have a bookcase with all my work on. And I sort of, every time I have to go and get something to do with work, I remember why I'm working. It's so I can do the sport. It pays for the sport. So, see the medal, remember what I can do, and crack on,
Yeah. So how did you get into the other 2 sports? Was it purely through seeing them being occurring at the transplant games as well?
Yeah. Well, the first time I did my first British games was Birmingham, 2018. Yeah, 2018. Sorry. I missed 2017 because I got married instead. So priorities. So 2017 did the 2018. Sorry, did the British Transplant Games, and you can do a sport a day, really. So I sort of looked at the schedules, and I've not played volleyball for donkey's years, but I do enjoy volleyball. I enjoyed it when I played at school. I used to play on holidays. It's just recreational stuff. So I enjoyed doing that, so I thought I'll do that. Found I was okay at it. I won't say I was good, but I'm okay. So I thought I'd get into that more. Ten-pin bowling is something I've always enjoyed. I've only ever done it recreationally, but it's something I've always enjoyed doing. So, and a friend of mine said, "Oh, come do the ten-pin bowling. We have an absolute blast doing that, and it is such a good. It's serious, but it's very social as well.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed the social side of it, shall we say? So that's how I did them. So I was only really going to do the football, but because you're there sort of 4 days, you might as well pick other sports. And the other thing I didn't do was the athletics on the Sunday because I haven't found it. I was okay at school. I was a good 400 metre runner at school, but I've seen some of the times that are posted now. I just thought, yeah, that's never going to happen. So I might look at taking perhaps shot put or something up in the future, but at the moment I'll stick to my football, my volleyball, and my ten-pin ball.
Yeah, and do you find, you mentioned the community there, do you think, is that a massive part of the transplant games? You've had to be able to meet people in the same boat as you, really?
Yeah. It's like being part of a big family where everybody understands. You sort of, because if you play mainstream sport, if you feel tired of something when perhaps you shouldn't, shall we say, as a normally able athlete, you would be sort of going after 10 minutes on, feeling tired, and be going, well, what are you on about? Why are you feeling tired? Because they don't really understand what we go through as transplant recipients, especially pre-transplant. But when you get that in the transplant community, you might get the mick taken out of you a bit for being unfit, but they understand, and you can talk to anybody about anything, and people understand what you're talking about, and everybody's been through the same thing. And I mean, and every other athlete is an inspiration. You see, you hear some of the stories of what they've been through. As I say, sometimes I feel a bit of a fraud, to be honest, because mine was sort of very textbook, kidneys decreased nice and slowly over a period of time, went on the list, got a transplant, bang, jobs are good, and 12 weeks later, I'm back playing sport. So, and the achievements of some of my friends, some of the athletes, they're all friends. It's unbelievable, the community. It really is so important for transplant recipients, if you like sport, to know that it's there and the support's there from everybody. I'm very lucky in the Royal Liverpool team to be surrounded by. They're an amazing team to be a part of. And, they're all there for each other, and then within the Great Britain setup, they're unbelievable as well. And, you get friends from other teams, and everybody meets up, and then everybody introduces you to somebody else. And it's just, I can't really compare it to anything that if you've not had something like a transplant that you would do, because it's very much a unique situation. It's a unique event, I would have thought, really.
Absolutely, man. It's a great thing to see. So for yourself, how many more do you want to do? I mean, is it something that you want to be doing until?
I want to do till I physically can. Next year's World's obviously been cancelled, so the one after that is, I think it's supposed to be in Australia in 2023. I want to go there. That's the year I'm 50, so I want to be there. And I just want to keep going. I just want to keep going as long as I can. I want to be the one that, you see when you're watching the athletics on the Sunday, especially the British Games, you've got athletes there that are in their 70s and above. You have everything from the little children right through. You have literally all age groups competing, and it's just to see them doing still competing. And I want to be like that when I'm in my 70s. I don't care if I have to walk around the track. I'm going to do it. So yeah, I'm in it for the long haul, definitely.
Absolutely, and to close it off, describe what sport has done for you in the transplant world in 3 words for me.
For me, I mean, I think if you want 3 words, the biggest I would say is improved mental health. It really has, and if you want to describe it, as I say, it's that community, it's that family. Everybody goes through the same sort of things. Everybody understands. It's great to be doing sport at a competitive level, especially for Great Britain. I mean, that was just unbelievable, and I really want to be doing that long term. But even the British Games are something else, because they're a celebration. They're about promoting organisations. They're about celebrating life that we've got, celebrate our donors, and it helps you keep fit, and it helps you physically and mentally. And I do think the biggest thing I get from it is the mental boost, the buzz of taking part in any of the games. is just, it's something else, and it really keeps you going. And all the friends I've got from around the world now, through Facebook, you're chatting and stuff, and
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
I say it's very difficult to describe it, but I think if you wanted 3 words for me, what has it done for me? It's definitely improved my mental health.
Brilliant.
And that you are not alone type of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a good way to finish it off. Thank you very much, Stephen, for joining me. It's an absolute pleasure to learn from you guys, and there'll be many more of these sort of mini profiling kind of things. Subscribe for more of this kind of stuff. It's great fun, and we'll see you next time.